What's up, you filthy animals? Welcome back to my channel. I am on NBA 2K23 and we are going to see if the top WNBA players in the game can defeat the best incoming players of the 2023 NBA draft class. For this video, I'll be using the top 7 players available in the entire WNBA and the top 7 highest rated players in the most downloaded 2023 draft class. Let's start with the roster of the established players most of you already should know. First of all, it has Victor Wembanyama at an 85 overall, which is broken for a rookie, but pretty fair in his case. I'm sure if he hit us with a Gen Z power move and declared for the WNBA draft class, he'd be coming in with a mid-90s rating. No balls, Victor. No pun intended. Please do it. But more importantly, he is coming in at 7 feet 4 inches tall, which might pose a problem for the WNBA superstars. Next, we have Scoot Henderson, who will be starting at point guard. He's an 81 overall baby Derrick Rose, and he is ready to put these women on a poster for something other than their body for once. Brandon Miller is generously another 81 overall player. I'm not too sure what to expect from his 2K game, but I do know that he currently has the most experience at putting women down in the entire draft class, so I'm excited to have him on the squad as a third option. From there, I'm taking the following 4 best players, including Cam Whitmore, Amin Thompson, Jarris Walker, and Asur Thompson, which clocks in the top 7 prospects of the 23 NBA draft class at an average height of over 6'7" and an average weight of 214 pounds, which may not seem like a lot right now, but you haven't seen the WNBA team. To make it possible to have the men play the women in this game, you have to copy down all their stats and attributes from a WNBA player to an NBA player, but since I'm ironically the biggest promoter of the WNBA on the planet, and 2K doesn't care enough to update women player overalls throughout the year, I already had the top 7 WNBA players created as men before making this video. I'm aware their ratings are ridiculous when compared to NBA players, but trust me, this game understands that size matters, and they don't have much of it, even though the majority of their roster plays the power forward position. They're led by 96 overall A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart, and their tallest players on the team are 6'6" Jonquel Jones and 6'9" Ladyboy 42. So even though most of their roster is made up of big men, they're about 4.5 inches shorter and 30 pounds lighter on average when compared to the incoming rookies. Both of their guards are under 6 feet, but Kelsey Plum is the great outlier on the team, standing at 5'8", and by being the only one who is remotely attractive. But if I'm being honest, she still sort of looks like the Horton Hears a Who characters. I entered both teams into a MyGM season with 12 teams, so they have the maximum amount of matchups in one season, and I remembered to turn off progression, regression, and team chemistry, so no matter how many attempts it takes, they should always remain the same overall. I put the women in Washington Redskins jerseys because it's probably the most offensive thing they can be wearing in their world, and because I wasn't able to find jerseys that resembled aprons. I'm going to play the first game out myself as the 23 NBA draft class, and I'm not the pro gamer I used to be, so I thought it would take some getting used to be able to hold my own against these top women athletes, and Scoot Henderson on your fucking head. Turns out I have a clear biological advantage. I don't even want to imagine what Victor could do in a swimming pool. I was pretty much able to back down just about anybody I wanted with whoever I wanted and get easy buckets at the rim. They did answer back on me with some sound form on their jumpers, so I inbounded the ball and icon passed to Wemby without looking, and that's another easy dunk. They tried throwing an alley-oop over my head, but there's just one problem: that's impossible. I let Jarris Walker show him how it's done.
Oh, there's the alley!
I missed a block here because Wemby accidentally hit his head on the backboard, to which Jonquel emoted on me for. But Brandon Miller has my back. He's always willing to lend a helping hand, gun, and he soon made up for my mistake. I had an 8-point lead after 1 quarter, but I wasn't playing on the hardest difficulty yet, so I decided to give myself a real test by playing on Hall of Fame difficulty.
And there's to the paint. Here's Wembanyama inside. Thompson.
Leave alone on the perimeter.
Ooh! And
Like that, it also takes pressure off the perimeter guy. And it put him in a conversation. Their offense has been grinding to a halt. That's exactly what you love to see.
here's Wembanyama. And he makes it. And that one is hammered. Board from Alley.
Thanks, BA. Well, Joel Embiid drawing him.
And yeah, that's an easy win for game 1 for the 23 draft class, winning 77-55. That was beyond easy, so I'm going to let the computers take control of both teams from here and leave the settings on Hall of Fame mode. I was a little worried after seeing my first glimpse of a computer-controlled game between the two teams. The ladies made a quick 5-0 run, but Wemby had us covered, and he gave the felon 2 early fouls, so their big man had to sit the rest of the first quarter. With her missing size inside, Vic was able to easily put this game out of reach before halftime. But late in the fourth quarter, Kelsey Plum makes a beautiful pass to Stewart, and it's good! Only 14 more points and they're in business. The boys win game 2, 53-37. Early in game 3, it wasn't very pretty for the 23 draft class. They finally started to show weakness on offense, but they were able to stay in it by swatting nearly every shot the women put up near the paint.
Here's Gray. Top! Here's Wilson. Blocked! And they'll get another chance. And here's Gray. Tipped! Down low. Sit out here, nigga!
Gray hit a ridiculous shot in the second, which gave the WNBA Superstars the lead for the first time outside of the first quarter, and 30 seconds later, it's gone. Coming out of halftime, the WNBA is only down 4 points and at home, so it's very feasible they can make a comeback, but they're not off to a good start. The 23 draft class was able to make a 6-0 run to start the half, but these ladies weren't going away like a bad case of herpes. The boys were getting violent with the ladies late in the game, which was only allowing them to stay close on the scoreboard. They had it within 2, but Brandon Miller is a shooter. He makes it a 5-point game. Chelsea Gray gets an open layup. She has a mental breakdown. And Victor is a whole Hasbulla taller than everyone else on the court. All they have to do is pass it where only he can catch it, and it's game over. And that run alone was enough to secure game number 3 for the 23 draft class, winning 53-46. The 23 draft class has a home court advantage for the first time ever, and of course it's this arena, which is either an Easter egg or a glitch. I still don't understand it, but it's very suitable for this team. The ladies were hanging around in this one, but Victor found himself with almost a 2-foot height advantage inside and was able to hit the and one and put them up 6. Although Scoot might have taken a bribe, he forgot how to play defense for a moment, and the girls hit a 3 to bring the game within 4 with less than 2 minutes left. Scoot was still struggling on offense, then the Stoner was driving on Jarris Walker and drew a shooting foul that brought the game within 2. The ladies got another stop, and Chelsea Gray hit a 3-pointer with 7 seconds left that took the lead and their manhood. The women are one stop away from proving they can hold their own against these 18 and 19-year-olds, but the men gave it to Victor, and he hit a very lightly contested post shot to take the lead right back with 0.8 seconds left. The women advanced the ball with a timeout, but their final shot is not off in time, and it's no good anyway. Vic once again carried this team to the victory, but Chelsea Gray was hanging around with him in points and almost pulled off the impossible for the women's team. So in the next game, Victor was not messing around. Honestly, it's much easier just to show you every basket that Vic didn't score in this one.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Down low. Here's Henderson. Nice visiting team. Here in the pass to Thompson. And
the boys have been struggling on home court, but the big Francais was not letting this one slide away from them. He had 45 points and 22 rebounds in a 24-minute game, outscoring the entire WNBA team by himself. At this point, I decided to try to help out the WNBA team myself by adjusting the rotations. Then I tried benching Griner for a higher overall starting 5. I even changed Candace Parker's position so the computer would give her more time on the court. But the next 3 games in a row were never once in question by the second half. The 23 draft class won games 6 through 8, 53-42, 52-40, and 45-31. So I just threw out the whole idea of trying to be realistic with the rotations out the window. And if you've seen as many 2K simulation games as I have, you know that sometimes in 2K size is all that matters. So I gave the tallest woman available every minute in their next game. Technically, this starting 5 is 4 power forwards and 1 center, but it's not like 2K pays that much attention to creating these players in the first place. Candace Parker, for example, is technically a Jason Kidd with titties when you take a closer look at her attributes. And now that this supersized lineup has an average height of over 6'5", we're ready for the final game of the regular season. In the first quarter, the Transformer hit a powerful left-handed layup to take the lead, and these women had no intentions of slowing down. However, between Scoot's ability to get his head at the level of the rim and Vic's fadeaway game, we were all tied up at 15 going into the half. I don't know what happened in or near the locker rooms at halftime, but something changed. Either the WNBA team's coach told them to start attacking the basket, or the non-ogre looking players that aren't getting minutes tonight gave the referees an oral bribe. The all WNBA team shot 16 free throws during the second half compared to the 23 draft class's 6, and that made a huge difference on the scoreboard and for the flow of this game. It's not like the men weren't attacking the basket like they usually do, but they surely weren't helping themselves with their low IQ decisions. It didn't take a solid game filled with highlights or a down the wire finish for these women to beat the 23 draft class, it took free throws. They won game number 9 46-38, which gives them a total plus minus through all 9 games of negative 88 points. But these fierce, powerful, courageous women got it done. It is possible. And it's about time we put some respect on these bitches' names. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.